Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's video might be a little bit of a longer one than normal, but today we are going to be discussing the top 10 energy weapons to get for Witch Queen and why they are so good, where to get them from, and their god rolls. Alright, let's go ahead and get this ship sailing. We have a lot to talk about. First up, we have Uzume, or Far Future. Both are solar 90 RPM snipers with lead from gold and Vorpal or Frenzy. Sadly, as of this video releasing, Uzume is no longer obtainable for the foreseeable future, but don't worry, you will still have 3 full weeks to grind out Far Future before it is unobtainable. Far Future is from the Season of the Chosen, and you can either farm it out by playing lots and lots more Battlegrounds, or you can farm it out by focusing the Umbral you get anyways from just doing whatever you're doing, and focus it into Tools of the Chosen under the Season of the Lost tab. Little note here is between the 3 videos for power weapons, energy weapons, and kinetic weapons, all 3 weapons that drop from the Tools of the Chosen are in those videos, and so if you're looking for all 3 of those weapons, I would just focus Tools of the Chosen, and you will knock out 3 of the 30 weapons I have recommended to you to get before Witch Queen launches. The role we are looking for today is a Pendant Mag, Lead from Gold, and Frenzy. Lead from Gold is an underrated perk, especially in a fire team with Aeons, and Frenzy is the same damage bonus as Vorpal while also providing a reload bonus. So Frenzy gives you 15% while also giving you a reload bonus and a pretty good handling bonus. Lead from Gold will give you special ammo when you pick up heavy ammo. This is underrated with an Aeon's fire team because when your Aeon teammate, who is finishing champions and generating heavy ammo for you, generates that heavy ammo, they are also technically giving you special ammo, and they don't have to run special Finny and burn their super, so you can have them run something like Well, which is an important super, but you can run a lead from gold weapon, so they don't need to burn super energy. If you want to go for perfection, you could go reload masterwork and then something like small bore or something, but you don't need to go for perfection. As long as you have lead from gold, a pendant mag, and frenzy, you should be good. Next up, we have a 1-2 punch shotgun. 1-2 punch shotties are extremely strong because of how strong some melees are. Military hammer, top tree, arc strider with the gloves that I couldn't Liar's handshake. I'm sure these combinations are not going anywhere anytime soon. So if I were you, I would get to farming right now. Matador drops with 1-2 punch, as you can see here, but so does the Decide, which comes from the World Loophole / Banshee, and a couple others do as well. A couple other energy shotguns. I don't know the names of all of them, but there's a good amount that'll roll with 1-2 punch. Just have an energy one, have a kinetic one, you should be good. I'd be sure to get one so you can have one just in case there's a raid boss that sits still, or lets us get close enough to 1-2 punch it. If we have a raid boss situation like Galron where it literally just doesn't damage you and you can literally stand at the kneecaps and punch it, then having something like a 1-2 punch shotgun is going to be extremely strong. In fact, if we get Wrath or King's Fallback, Wrath, there's a couple situations where 1-2 punch could be game breaking because the final boss doesn't shoot you. The second boss in Wrath doesn't shoot you, and you could just 1-2 punch it. The final boss in Wrath doesn't shoot you because it's stunned. And Oryx, you have to be right on top of to stun the little shadows of him to do damage to him as a boss. And so 1-2 punch could be helpful there as well. We don't know what we're getting for the reprise raid, so 1-2 punch could be helpful there as well. Next up is an explosive head bow. There are 2 here for you. First up, the only solar one in the game is Tyranny of Heaven, with the god roll of Archer's Tempo explosive head. You get this from the Last Wish raid, and IMO makes a huge reason for you to go play Last Wish. Second is the Arsenic Bite, which, funny enough, until tomorrow at midnight, Wednesday night at midnight, Banshee is currently selling a perfect roll of this gun. This roll of this bow. This roll is Rampage Explosive Head. In fact, this roll is so strong you may not want to run another bow in the game. We know bows are going to be anti-barrier next season. We have never had it before, and it will be interesting to see how it interacts with bows. Could end up being better than scouts, but I would be sure to pick one up just in case, especially the one from Banshee. Fourth, we have an energy blinding grenade launcher. Blinding shells are just so strong in any content. They blind huge groups of ads and will make it so they completely ignore you and behave as if you just don't exist. I mean, they truly just go away. There are two I recommend for you to get. The first is Truth Teller, which is a Void GL, which you can get from Zerv, World Drops, or Basic 44, and the God Roll here is auto-loading, blinding, and the last column doesn't really matter too much, but I think Demolitionist is the best choice personally. The other one is the Empty Vessel, which drops from Strike Completion. The God Roll here is blinding grenades, auto-loading holster, and Danger Zone. Danger Zone, you get an even larger blinding grenade. You can truly blind a room. Next up, I have the Sojourner's Tale, a Season of the Splicer's legendary solar shotgun. Slug shotgun. I personally prefer it over Philo because of the frenzy handling boost that Frenzy gives you, along with the ability of Frenzy to work against all targets, not just bosses and vehicles, which in my opinion makes it a better overall perk. The God Roll here is very similar to a God Roll first in last out of Assault Mag, Auto-Loading Holster, and Frenzy instead of Vorpal. If you already have a God Roll first in last out, this gun is not necessarily a must-have, but a good choice if you would prefer to run something different, or you're interested in the opportunity to run Frenzy against majors such as I do. However, I would definitely get one if you don't already, because having a Slug shotgun is going to be incredibly important, because I have a feeling the second fusions are gone, Slugs are going to go right back into the meta, so having one is going to be extremely strong. The easiest way to get this gun is to either farm it from last season's activities, that being seasonal Splicer activities, being a sponge, overrides, any of those, or farm it from tools with Splicer focusing on the Season of the Lost tab. Our first exotic on the list is a Void exotic bow with the exotic perk Poison Arrows, or better known as Le Monarch. The idea here is you do a perfect draw and then shoot a crit on an enemy, and it will start ticking away and spread that poison to other enemies nearby. In the gameplay, mine is sadly 1100, which is why it looks so weak. But this bow is ridiculously strong. I think it's stronger than Tuku's Divination, in fact. I think it is better than Tuku's for the ad clear purposes. Tuku's does a lot more damage, but the Monarch is just better at clearing ads. You can get this bow from the exotic kiosk in the tower. I would be sure to pick this one up if you want it from the tower. I know you're going to need an Ascendant Shard and an exotic Cipher. I'm not sure what mats you need. You're also going to need some Glimmer and then whatever planetary mat it asks you for. But we don't know how any barrier is going to be on bows, and just in case it is stronger on bows than on scouts, I would be sure to have this one because it will become top of the meta if any barrier is better on bows. Next, the only scout on the list is Vouchsafe. This is a 200 RPM scout from the Dreaming City, and it destroys everything. The God Roll here is Rapid Hit or Force times the Charm and Explosive Payload. Both are very good. There is no easy way to get this gun, just farm all of the Dreaming City activities and hope you get one to drop. Really is no fast way to do it. Do your story mission, do your Petra bounties, go do a Shattered Throne. If you have 3 characters, obviously do it times 3 if you have the time for it. Just hope you get one with Rapid Hit or Force Times the Charm and Explosive Payload. Explosive Payload is the most important perk. The other perk is kind of whatever. Just hope you get Explosive Payload in that last column. I would highly recommend this because if any barrier scout is the way to go, this bow will carry you through the season. Okay, next up we have Salvo, the Season of the Chosen Ritual Grenade Launcher. This special weapon is just good. It's just good. It just does its job amazing. Good. You can run it with Vorpal for decent boss damage, or you can switch it over to Chain Reaction and have the closest thing I've seen to a Warmind Cell since the nerf of Warmind Cells. If you don't have this weapon already, I would strongly recommend you go get it. This weapon is so worth it, and I am sure there will be a meta sometime this year where Salvo is worth having or needed. Heck, even come day one of the new Witch Queen raid, we have a really heavy ad clear encounter. I'm pulling out Salvo because it's gonna do the best ad clear even on day one enemies, because chain reaction just doesn't care about what level the enemies are. It's going to kill them. I would be sure you get this weapon. Go do its quest now. It's worth it. Next, I think, is the most important exotic on this list, and that is Divinity. You get Divinity from doing the quest from the Garden of Salvation raid. Unless some huge change comes to Overload auto rifle or submachine gun next season, Div is going to be the most consistent Overload in the game. It works fast, ammo efficient, and keeps your teammates buffed to deal more damage to the champ. Next season is going to be a heavy Div season, so be ready for that. I don't think they're gonna make SMG auto. I don't think they're gonna make Overload, SMG, or auto rifle truly worth it. And so I think Div is going to be the play unless we get a neutral game Overload. If we get like Void Grenade Overload again, which we haven't had in a really long time, if we get Void Grenade Overload again, then, well, we're going to be running that the whole season, because that's just going to be the best way to do it. Because you can truly make it so that, like, your primary just won't matter if barrier Overload strikes. You can just run Overload Void Grenades, you can run Arbalist, and then your primary and heavy weapon are just either a good Eye-Clear primary and whatever heavy weapon you like most to go with Arbalist. So it truly won't matter. Just get Div, because I don't think Overload next season is going to be great, and Div is great Overload. Lastly, IMO, the strongest primary since Recluse, it's Borrowed Time. Yes, I know that means you have to play Gambit. Yes, I am aware that Gambit sucks. But that doesn't change this weapon is an absolute workhorse for ad clear, even when you're under light. This gun that I'm using in the clips here has 14,000 kills on it, and I got it at the beginning of Season of the Lost. This role has Feeding Frenzy Rampage, and IMO feels the closest thing to Recluse since Recluse. But this is not my personal god role. This role is very good and is very consistent. But my personal god role would be Subsistence Frenzy. Subsistence gives me huge chunks of my ammo back when I get a kill, and Frenzy is active 90% of the time while in most encounters within the game. To be honest, though, it doesn't really matter what role you get on here, as long as you get a reload perk and a damage perk. The gun rolls Overflow, the gun rolls Subsistence, the gun rolls Feeding Frenzy. I think the gun might even roll Outlaw. I know it rolls Threat Detector. Any reload perk that gives you a reload boost will work. The gun rolls Surrounded. The gun rolls One for All. The gun rolls Frenzy. The gun rolls Rampage. The gun rolls Multi-Kill Clip. There's a lot of perks on this gun. Just get a reload perk and a damage perk that you like, and you're set, honestly. You can also roll Surplus, so if you want a little more accuracy, you can run Surplus. I know controller players kind of struggle with the aggressive framer SMGs and need some stability boost, so you could run Surplus there and it would help. That is all I have for you today. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I am sorry for it being late. I'm a college student working a part-time job and producing 3 videos a week, plus 2 TikToks, plus 2 streams soon. I gotta get my overlays and all my Twitch stuff set up before I can start streaming. Hopefully we'll start streaming the week before Witch Queen, and then after Witch Queen week, and the week after, and going forth. Witch Queen week will be heavy on streams, the week after will be heavy on streams, but the going on from there will be 2 streams a week, unless I get to a point where I don't need to go to work, and then we could go to 4 streams a week. But right now I still need to go to work, so we still are on 2 streams a week once I start streaming. Thanks for all the support this month. January has been insane. I gained 21 subscribers, broke 4,000 views, broke almost 200 watch hours, almost 300 watch hours, in fact, I believe. So this month was very good. I hope February is even better with Witch Queen. I will have plenty more builds between now and Witch Queen, and plenty of builds and other content to produce after Witch Queen. But thanks for all the support, guys. That is all I have for you today. I really do appreciate y'all watching. I will see you all tomorrow, since today is Tuesday. I normally produce a video on Wednesday. I will see you all tomorrow for a brand new video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already for more content just like this. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.